So the pads came on today, and one thing is clear. Jalen Hurts has the best wide receiver duo in the National Football League. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So the Eagles had their first padded practice today, and one thing is apparent. Jalen Hurts, the Philadelphia Eagles, have the best wide receiver duo in the National Football League. And I'm not talking about a top 10 wide receiver with a top 20 wide receiver. I'm talking about two guys who are potentially top 5 wide receivers. Two guys who could have 100-plus catches this year. This offense is going to be ridiculous. And while you got other people telling you to go look at the Cowboys play in their practice, the Eagles just go out and do it every day. They don't need to record clips and post it to Twitter. Now, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet. If you've been subscribed for a while, thank you so much for your support. Just a reminder, we stream every Eagles game. We will be streaming every Eagles preseason game. We do primetime games. We do a lot of stuff around here during football season. It's always something going on. So if you don't want to miss the action, hit that subscribe button and let's get to work, because it's going to be a great, great year. Kelly Greens are out. Philly 500's losing weight. We're feeling pretty good. Now, as always, we've got to start with the injury report. It looks like, the one thing I can say about this injury report is this. A lot of teams come out of the Super Bowl and they're hurt, they're banged up, guys have had late surgeries. This team is relatively healthy, and I think that's a really good sign. Here is the injury report. Will not practice, Kane ankle. Limited, Barnett. Avonte Maddox with his big-ass toe. And then Hassan Reddick, groin soreness, although he was in padded practice today. He was in pads, so that's a good thing. Now, when this practice started and when he opened up, the 11-11s and stuff, Jalen Hurts just continued from his last practice. Red hot, hitting everything, looking fantastic. He came out early. He hit A.J. Brown on 2 consecutive catches. A.J. Brown just had 2 consecutive catches against good coverage from James Bradbury. First was a perfect back shoulder throw. The second was a stop route. So A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, unbelievable chemistry. There's no doubt about it. And then, look, you can't forget Devontae Smith, because Devontae Smith, he's going to work too. He comes right back. He goes to Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith winds up having the best catch of camp so far. Best catch of Eagles training camp so far. Devontae Smith matched up with Darius Slay one-on-ones. Slay was all over Smith with great coverage. Jalen Hurts' pass looked to be off the mark, but Smith created separation at the very last second to snag it. This is the best wide receiving duo in the National Football League. This is not just an opinion, or this is just not a homer opinion. This is truth. I think most people realize this is the best duo. You have 2 wide receivers who could potentially be top 5 wide receivers by the time this season's over, okay? But what makes them so great is the way they complement each other. A.J. Brown's a big, physical wide receiver, gets a lot of yards after the catch. Then you have Devontae Smith. He's got probably the best footwork in the National Football League. Great route runner, great hands. These 2 guys go perfect together. And because of that, they are the wide receiving duo in the National Football League. No question about it. They went out. They had a great, great practice. Really, today, the one thing we could say is, if you look at this whole practice as a whole, the defense probably won the day. And that was because of the second team and third team. As far as the starters go, the first team offense had its way with the first team defense. Take with that what you want, but they did. They were dominant. They also did their one-on-ones today too, with the offensive line, defensive line. This is something I wish they could record at practice. They don't record these at practice. You're not allowed to at Eagles practice. But my gosh, I would have loved to see some of these matchups. Check this out, right? Eagles defensive line, quick takeaways. Tyler Steen with quality reps against Jalen Carter. So he goes up against Jalen Carter. Then you have Cam Jurgens, he goes up against Fletcher Cox. And then you have 700 pounds of meat, of giant flesh, flapping all around. You have Landon Dickerson versus Jordan Davis. I could feel the tremors from here. But they went at it on one-on-ones. And all I can say is this. I wish I could see that. But I think I felt it. Because, man, those guys are big. But this is what the Eagles' offensive line and defensive line go against in practice. They're going up against the best. You have maybe the best defensive line in football versus the best offensive line in football. And then you get these people who are like, oh, wait till you play our defensive line. The Eagles practice against the best offensive line, best defensive line every day in football. When we get into the games, it's a breeze. When you have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith every day going up against Darius Slay and James Bradbury, anybody else you play is going to be easier. Same thing with those corners. They got to go up against A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith every day. Who are you going to put out? You think Brandon Cooks is going to show them something they didn't see? Get out of town. I'm a little fired up today. I'm a little fired up. I love this team. I love this team. Best wide receiver. Best wide receivers in football. Best offensive line in football. Best defensive line in football. You got tons of meat on that line. You know? So it's just like, man, this team is going to be good. They're going to be good, and I love it. I just think this team it's going. What can I say? I'm excited. Look at me. I'm speechless. I'm in love. I need a drink. Woo! Pinky up when you drink, by the way. It shows you have class. You got to be like the other mobsters. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think, like as I was saying, when you look at the first team offense, Jalen Hurts on fire, wide receivers on fire. They did their job. Where the defense kind of dominated was the second and third team. Nolan Smith continues to be a force. Okay, every backup that he's gone in the second team versus the third team, he's beating everybody. He's beating everybody. Okay, so they're gonna have to find a way to get this guy on field. He's going through the third teams. He's going through the second teams. He beat Driscoll a couple times. He's having a hell of a camp, okay? Jalen Carter, he continues to have a huge camp too. He kept making his presence felt. At one point, it looked like he was about to get a sack. Jalen Hurts was able to roll out and make a great throw on the run. And you know, Jalen Carter, he's disruptive. Jordan Davis, he's disruptive. Nolan Smith, he's disruptive. Those guys, they've been disruptive, you know. Christian Ellis continues to get first-team reps at linebacker. Him and Morrow are rotating in. And then you have Nakobe Dean, who's, I think he's solidly cemented as a starter. They're going to give it to him. And I'm going to go on record right now. I'm a believer in Nakobe Dean. I think Nakobe Dean is going to be a player, and I think a lot of people are going to see that, okay? Now, it's really interesting for the Eagles and training camp. And one of the things that I can't wait to watch in the preseason is the battle at safety. Because I think when you look at the safety position, this is where we really don't know what's going on. And now you have all the reports coming out yesterday about Howie Roseman and the Eagles continue to look at safeties. When you take that report and you combine it with the fact that they have worked out so many safeties, and then when you look at what they're doing in practice, it's apparent the Eagles are not comfortable, in my opinion, at the safety position, at one of them, okay? Here's the thing. Reed Blankenship is staying with the ones. He's out there with the ones. He's not rotating in. But Kavon Wallace is rotating in. These other guys are rotating in at safety. Edmonds is rotating safety. They don't feel secure, obviously, at that one safety position. I can, and I'm very happy to say, that it was very nice to hear that Kavon Wallace had a really good day. A really good day. He had a big interception on Marcus Mariota. And this is like the second legitimate practice where people said Kavon Wallace is looking good. Could we be in a situation, a very lucky, very fortunate situation, in where he's a late bloomer and that he's actually going to get a chance to play and he's actually going to do something? I don't know. It would be really, really nice to know and really nice to see Kavon Wallace go out there and and be dominant. If we could get that from him, it'd be great. But what I really feel at the safety position is that they don't feel comfortable with that one spot, and they're rotating guys in, looking for somebody that could be that starter to take that job next to Reed Blankenship. Sidney Brown is another guy we've got to watch. I think as training camp goes on, I expect to hear more and more from Sidney Brown, especially once we get into preseason games and things like that. So we'll see. The other issue I think that the Eagles have right now is who's going to be your backup slot corner if Avonte Maddox can't go. Zeke McPherson was getting first-team reps. He was also getting rotated in with Mario Goodrich. So I think the Eagles are looking for somebody who can back up Avonte Maddox. This may be important if Avonte Maddox cannot stay healthy. So this is going to be a very interesting battle at training camp as well. So when you look at today's practice, first padded practice, and I would say first team offense dominates. The defense on the second and third teams, they dominate second team offense and third team offense. And Nolan Smith can't be stopped. Jalen Carter can't be stopped. The wide receivers, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, best wide receiver duo in football, and Jalen Hurts continues to show why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. A few other things I want to bring up about training camp today. The punt returners, guys who were taking the punt returners were Britton Covey, Quez Watkins, Greg Ward, and then Olimad Zacchaeus. I probably said his name wrong. Let's just call him Oz. He is getting punt returns too. Now, here's the thing. Covey might have improved. We'll see. Quez Watkins has never showed me anything at the punt return game. Greg Ward is great for a fair catch. If you need a fair catch, Greg Ward's your guy. Oz, maybe he could take the punt returns. I'm kind of rooting for him, or hopefully Britton Covey has improved that much. It would be nice. Now, the hit of training camp so far. Mekhi Gardner had the hardest hit of training camp on Charleston Rambo towards the end of practice today. Apparently, he got knocked into next week. I wish they had it on film. Unfortunately, there is nothing on it because you can't film the Eagles 11-on-11s and things like that. The other thing we got to talk about real quick is Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, happy birthday to him. Just turned 3,600 years old today. I can't believe the guy's 3,601 years old. Unbelievable. It's just like yesterday he was 2,000 years old. But Jerry Jones is writing checks his team can't catch. He's going out there. He's giving the Eagles, he's giving the Giants, he's giving Washington a warning, telling us we better watch out for them, that they are better. Here's what Jerry Jones said. This stupid guy, 3,603 years old, doesn't know what he's talking about, getting his team in all sorts of trouble, okay? Here's what he said. He said, I will say that Philadelphia, and if you will, the Giants and Washington team, they need to be on their game because we are, Jones said. We're going to be on our game, and we will be improved over last year. I won't dismiss how accomplished Philadelphia is the year they had last year and where they're starting with this year. I don't want to dismiss that, and the Giants definitely have a chance to be better, and Washington could be really energized. So I don't need to handicap it relative to where they will end up. Just us, we are better. So Jerry Jones, 3,604 years old, happy birthday to him, telling the world that Dallas Cowboys are better. He's basically writing checks that his team can't cash. But you won't hear Mark Holmes complain about that. You won't hear Mark Holmes talk about that. He only does it when it's the Eagles. Jerry Jones, being 3,608 years old, should not be talking. That's just my opinion. Just a reminder, we should be live at some point today. Look for that. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. And remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. Let's see if he finds a safety. One thing I forgot to say and mention is that Jalen Hurts is yet to throw an interception. Well, Dak Prescott has like 4 or 5 interceptions, 9 interceptions on Jerry Jones' 3,609th birthday. Jalen Hurts without an interception. Jalen Hurts has been flawless in camp so far. Jalen Hurts is about to have a monster year. And I don't think the rest of the NFL is able to understand what is coming their way. You know what's coming their way? Pain. Denzel Washington out.